The last topic of this chapter is site safety. Firstly, we will talk about necessity of site safety. More workers meet with an accident during the first year of their employment. There were more accidental caused by falling, working at height, persons being stuck or trapped by object in motion, scaffold, electric shock, construction machinery, etc. The possibility of labor accident arising in the construction industry as opposed to the all industrial is over 40%, and the percentage of fatalities is also exceedingly high. Therefore, safety measures to be employed in the construction industry continue to matters of urgent importance that must be further enforced. Construction sites in developing countries are 10 times more dangerous than in industrialized nations, and Indian sites are no exception. An analysis of occupational accident reveals that the accident caused due to high unsafe work conditions and action account for 80% of all accidents. In absence of safety culture in industry, accident injuries and death always remain on the top at the national level. In order to reduce potential occupational accidents and cut back occupational injuries, it is necessary that each workplace should adopt a management system for occupational safety and health. Precisely identifying risk factors under this system and systematically and continuously develop the measure that should be taken to eliminate or reduce those risk factors. It is important to continuously strive to reduce latent risk factors at workplaces as close to zero as possible. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization of Indian economy and consequent foreign investment in infrastructural sector have changed the construction scenario dramatically. Multinationals have brought with them high standard of safety and health stipulation which Indian construction industry was not used to. In order to compete with these multinationals, it is essential that the Indian construction companies ensures that the safety management function is integrated with overall project management system and safety culture is inculcated through occupational safety health and environmental management system. It is necessary for the central government, employers and workers and people in general to aggressively grapple with adherence to safety by them and strive to enhance the safety awareness of society as a whole. It would be important to create safety culture as an issue common to the nation as a whole, or in the other word, the organization and individuals to foster their mindset in which safety takes top priority. So talking about this all are site safety equipments: helmet, gloves, apron, night light, gloves. This is a picture of scaffolding, which is also used for site safety. Now talking about preventing construction accidents. Major construction accidents at site were prevented by taking proactive actions such as heavy equipment accidents were prevented, like developing operating procedures and their implementation, employing trained and skilled persons to operate, providing adequate signaling and supervision, providing overload preventing devices, installing warning devices such as back sensors, contact sensors, flashes equipped with warning buzzers, periodic preventive maintenance and upkeep. Landslide accident collapse of natural ground were prevented by maintaining a safe excavation grade and height and by constructing protecting shoring. Falling accidents were prevented by making work floors and pathway as flat and slip proof as possible and building handrails, fences in work areas, obstructing opening with ESA flow folding, safety nets, safety ropes, etc. Providing nets, sheeting, reinforcement using bracing cable or other means prevented collapses of scaffolding structures. Accidents caused by falling objects during construction work were prevented by construction plan that avoids work being performed in both high and low work areas at the same time by using netting, construction sheeting, mesh sheeting, by binding material together when placing them in high work areas by building a drop chute and prohibiting access to hazardous areas. All workers were given appropriate person protective equipment while performing their jobs in order to protect their body parts from variety of hazards. Strict enforcement to use PPE by both men and women and maintenance of PPE resulted in significant reduction in minor injuries as well as reduction in number of first aid services. So talking about safety in construction industry, the construction industry is one of the oldest and most hazardous industry contributing to the high rate of fatalities and serious accidents. Statutory protection has now been provided through Construction Safety Act or otherwise known as Building and their other construction worker Regulation of Employment and Condition of Services Act 1996. The act has been made to provide safety, health and welfare measures and give construction workers a social security. So here are some safety measures during construction. Safety manage safety management in general, specific responsibility by name to be allotted to a specific point of time. Planning of housekeeping. The construction site must always be kept in neat and tidy condition. All material must be stacked in a proper place and in proper manner with proper marking. A well planned site helps reduce accident. Safety while excavating. Provide side supports in an excavated trenches. Always wear a safety helmet when you are work in an excavation. Hand dig with care as cables may be just below the surface. Scaffolding. Make sure that scaffolds are securely anchored or tied to the building. Then ladders. Make sure your ladder is lashed or footed before you climb it. Avoid carrying tools or materials in your hand while you are climbing ladders. Timbers used in scaffolding and ladders should not be painted. Movement of materials. While lifting the load through crane, use a singular and see that load is fitted with a safety hook. Never climb up the tower or get into the boom while the crane is in use. Never ride on the platform or a goods hoist. No one should stand within the operating area of the crane while the load is in motion. Working position, tools and equipment. Arrange to sit whenever possible. Keep materials, tools and controls within easy reach. Carry tools in tool holder and not in the pockets of the clothing. A dangerous parts of machinery require guard. A warning notice is not a substitute. Working environment. Never use solvent to remove paint or grease from your screen. The dust you cannot see is more dangerous than the dust you can see. Personal protective equipment, that is PPE. Your safety helmet protects you only if you have it on. 90% of all eye injuries can be prevented by suitable eye protection. Make a habit of using personal protective equipment which contains safety manual. Prepare a safety manual for company. Safety coordinator. Depute full-time or part-time safety coordinator depending upon the size of project, site and nature of hazard. Worker screening, screening of workmen. Project safety plan. Prepare a project safety PI and implement at job sites which covers overall scope of work, fabrication, erection, excavation, concreting, brickwork, finishing work, printing, blasting, non-destructive test, etc. Obligation chart, which covers responsibility of the line functionaries and reporting of the safety engineering functions. Then safety committee, which consists of chairman, secretary members, their roles, responsibility, project manager, safety committee members, safety coordinator, site engineers, first line supervisor engineers, subcontractors, and job related specific PPE. Then general site safety rules, which includes use of PPE and safety devices relevant to the site activities, general housekeeping and stacking of material, road safety inside the project, access, egress and workstation safety, safe use of construction power, work permit system, which include hot work permit, excavation clearance permit, industrial radiography permit, permit to work on overhead traction line, permit to work on plant and machinery and other power driven equipment, electrical work permit, permit to open manhole cover grill, permit for confined space entry, use, maintenance and inspection of plant and machinery, scaffolding norms, use of safe material handling and personal handling equipment, fire protection and prevention, contingency plan and industries. Next one is identification of high risk hazardous operation in the site and their appropriate safety measures, structural and equipment erection, excavation, concreting, chimneys, silos, cooling towers, etc., precasting and precast erection, pile driving, road works, existing road, new road, work over water, blasting, use, handling, storage of compressed gas cylinder, etc., pressure testing, that is hydraulic and pneumatic, tunneling, which consists others. Next is pep talk. Seventh one is checklist and reports. General site safety inspection, which cover excavation, demolition, blasting, scaffolding, ladders, working platform, PPE, structural fabrication, erection, gas cutting and welding, means of access, electrical work, housekeeping, fire prevention and protection, safety, road safety, etc., fire aid box, illumination, safety boards, pro Easter stickers, drinking water, sanitation, emergency vehicles, etc. Electrical safety inspection, electrical safety scaffold inspection, safety while working at joint at height, crane inspection, vehicle and earth moving equipment inspection. Next one is statics and reports. Accident investigation report, which include action taken report, weekly analysis of accident, monthly safety statistic, registered first aid, subcontractor safety performance evaluation. Job safety analysis, which identify asbestos roof sheeting at 25 meters height. Weekly analysis of accidents, monthly safety statistic, register or of first aid. Subcontractor safety performance evaluation, job safety analysis, third party like inspection, examination and testing of hoist, lift once in 6 months, lifting machines like crane, crab, which pulleys, block and lifting tracker like chain, rope, hook, D-shackle, coupling, spider or similar appliances once in 12 months. Then safety training and safety awareness program. Moving towards laws and rules regulation. So firstly we will study the rules in construction worker. Always be mindful on your job. No horseplay should be done while a job. Always wear all personal protective equipment for a job. Protect and prevent yourself from hot materials. In case of contact with acid-like substances, immediately wash it with plenty of water. Behave properly, walk properly, do not run in the construction site. The use of drugs and alcohol is strictly prohibited in the construction site, as there are the causes of main serious accidents. If you use some strong medicine with the advice of doctor, then it should be known to your immediate supervisor, so that he can allot you the jobs accordingly. Do not try to attract the attention of the others while doing the job. Sanitation facilities are provided for you and for your colleagues. Try to keep it clean as far as it possible. Do not try to defy or degrade or damage these facilities. These are forbidden acts, and try to keep away from such jobs. Cleanliness is the next to godliness. Also, clean job is the start of the safe job. Develop the habit of good housekeeping. Compressor air is the most costly form of energy and is also contain moisture and dirt, etc. So do not use compressed air for the removal of dust from your clothes and from your body. This may seriously harm you. Do not work at height if you are afraid to do so. Also, if you feel dizziness, nausea and vomiting tendency, then it is better to avoid working at height. Keep the injured as comfortable as possible. Never move the injured person unless it is essential. Utilize the first aid kit available at the site so long the ambulance arrives. It is your duty to know the location of nearest fire point from your workplace of your work. You never know at what moment you need it. Also, get yourself trained how to use different fire extinguishers. Know the correct method of manual lifting. Lift correctly with legs, not by back. If load is too heavy for a single man to lift, take help from others. Stay fit and control your weight. It is a good practice to start the job after doing some stretching exercise. It has been observed that nearly 20% of injuries occur during lifting materials. Only the authorized drivers are allowed to drive all heavy earth moving machinery. Nobody other than driver should be allowed inside the driver's cabin. Do not use power tools and equipment until you have been properly instructed to do so and authorized to use them. Ensure that all machinery guards are in its place. Do not remove, displace, damage or destroy any safety device provided on the machinery. Do not enter inside the barricaded area. If you must work around power shovel truck or and others, make sure that operators can always see you. Barricades are required for cans. Never lubricate a machine in running condition. Disconnect the power sources, lock out and properly tag out the power tools before servicing, repairing and adjusting. Barricade all the danger areas. Excavation over 1.5 meter deep must be shored or sloped as required. Keep yourself out of trenches or cuts that have not been properly shored or sloped. Excavated or other materials shall not be stored near than 1.5 meters from the edge of excavation. Use the 4 and 1 rule when using a ladder, that is 1 foot of base for every 4 feet of height. Fill unless ladder is tied, blocked or otherwise secured. Safety. Portable ladders in use shall be equipped with step ladders, shall not be used as a straight ladder. Ladders must be extended 3 feet above landing on roof for proper use. Defective ladders must be properly tagged and removed from service. Keep ladder bases free from debris, hoses, wires, material, etc. Build scaffolds according to the manufacturer's recommendation and construction safety standard. Scaffold planks shall be properly lapped, cleated or otherwise secured to prevent shifting. Use extension cords of 3-prong type only. Use ground fault circuit interrupter at all times, and when using tools in wet conditions, check the electrical grounding system daily. The use of safety harness in height work is essential. Use your safety lines anchored properly. Never throw anything overboard. Someone passing below may be seriously injured. Open fires are prohibited in construction site. Know what emergency procedure is established at the site you work, like location of emergencies, phone numbers, location for first aid kit, location of stretcher, location of fire point, and evacuation plan, etc. Never enter a manhole, well, shaft, tunnel, or other confined spaces which could possibly have a non-respirable atmospheric because of lack of oxygen or presence of toxic or flammable gas. Make certain a competent person test that confined area with an appropriate detector before entry, and necessary safety equipment must be worn. Standby person should be stationed at the entrance. Now we are going to see various acts. Construction Safety Act. The construction industry is one of the oldest and most hazardous industries, contributing to the high rate of fatal and serious accidents. Statutory protection has been provided to the building and construction worker throughout this act. The Construction Safety Act is called as Building and Other Construction Worker Regulation of Employment and Condition of Services Act 1996. Number 27 of 1996 has been passed by the Parliament and received the assent of the President on 19 August 1996. The Act applicable with effect from 1st March 1996 to regulate the employment and conditions of service of building and other construction workers, and to provide for their safety, health and welfare measures, and for other matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. Every establishment which employs or had employed on any day of the preceding 12 months 50 or more building workers in any building or other construction work. Building and other construction works, the construction, alteration, repairs, maintenance or demolition of or in relation to buildings, street, roads, railways, trainways, airfields, irrigation, drainage, embankment and navigation work, flood control works, generation, transmission and distribution of power, water works, oil and gas installations, electric lines, wireless, radio, television, telephone, telegraph or overseas communication, dam, canal, reservoirs, water courses, tunnels, bridges, viaducts, aqueducts, pipelines, towers, cooling towers, transmission towers, etc., but does not include any building of other construction work to which the provisions of the Factories Act 1948 or the Mines Act 1952 apply. Building worker, a person who is employed to do any skilled, semi-skilled, manual, superior, technical or cleared work. Next, the term appropriate government comes in point. In relation to any establishment which employs building workers either directly or through a contractor, in respect of which the appropriate government under the Industrial Disputes Act 1947 is the central government. In relation to any such establishment being a public sector undertaking, as the central government may by notification specify which employs building worker either directly or through a contractor, the central government. Here are some main provisions relating to safety. Construction of Safety Committee. The employer of every establishment ordinarily employing 500 or more building workers shall constitute a safety committee of such number of representatives of the employer and equal number of the building workers. Appointment of safety officer. The employer of every establishment ordinarily employing 500 or more building workers shall appoint a safety officer possessing a professional qualification. Notice of certain accidents. Employer of any establishment shall give notice of an accident which causes death or which causes bodily injury, because of the which person injured is prevented from working for a period of 48 hours or more following the accident. The concerned authority will make investigation if accidental causes death of 5 or more persons. It shall make an inquiry into such accident within 1 month of receipt of the notice. Registration of establishment. All assistant labor commissioner central have been notified as a registrating officer under the act. Every establishment shall make an application to registering officer for the registration of establishment within a period of 60 days from the commencement of the act. The registrating officer shall register the establishment and issue a certificate of registration to the employer. And last one is the responsibility of employer. An employer shall be responsible for providing constant and adequate supervision of any building or other construction work in the establishment to ensure compliance with the provisions act of this act relating to safety and for taking practical steps necessary to prevent accidents. Here are rules for the safety and health of building workers. The appropriate government may be make rules regarding the measures to be taken for the safety and health of the building worker in the course and their employer, and the equipment and appliances necessary to be provided to them for ensuring their safety, health and protection. Such rules may provide for all or any of the following matters: the safety means of access to and the safety of any working place, including the provision of suitable sufficient scaffolding at and various stages when works cannot be done safely from the ground or from any part of building or from a ladder or such other mean of transport. The precautions to be taken in connection with the demolition of the whole or any substantial part of the building or other structure under the supervision of competent person, and the avoidance of the danger from collapse of any building or other structure while removing any part of the frame building or other structure by shoring or otherwise. The handling and use of explosive under the control of competent person, so that there is no exposure to the risk of injury from exploitation from flying material. The erection, installation, uses and maintenance, transporting equipment such as locomotive, trucks, wagons and other vehicles and trailers, and appointment of competent persons to drive or operate such equipment. The erection, installation, use and maintenance of hoist, lifting appliances and lifting gear, including periodical testing and examine and heat treatment where necessary precaution to be taken while raising or lowering loads, restriction on carriage of the person appointment. The measures to be taken during stacking and unstacking, stowing and stowing materials or goods, handling in connection. The safe handling and use of plant, including tools and equipments operated by compressed air. The precautions to be taken in case of fire. The limits of weight to be lifted or moved by workers. The safe transport of worker to or from any workplace by water and provision or mean for rescue for drawing. The steps to be taken to prevent danger to worker from live electric wires or apparent, including electrical machinery and tools and from electrical wires. The keeping of safety nets, safety sheets, safety belts where the special nature or the circumstances of work render them necessary for the safe of the worker. The standard to be compiled with regard to scaffolding, ladders, stairs, lifting appliances, ropes, chains, accessories, earth moving equipment and floating operational equipment. The precautions to be taken with regards to pile driving, concrete work, work with hot asphalt, tar or other similar things, insulation work, demolition operation, excavation, undergo construction and handling materials. Next is inspecting staff. There are three major inspection staff. Director General of Inspection. The central government has appointed a Chief Labour Commissioner as a Director General of Inspector under the Act. He is responsible for laying down the standards of the inspection and also exercise the power of the inspector throughout India in relation to all the establishments for which central government is the appropriate government. Second one is Chief Inspector of Inspection. The state government may appoint Chief Inspector of Inspection of Building and Construction responsible for effectively carrying out the provision of this Act in the state of and shall also exercise power of an inspector throughout the state in relation to establishment for which the state government is the appropriate government. Next one is inspectors. The government of India has appointed the following officers to be inspectors under the Act. Joint Chief Labour Commissioner Central, New Delhi. All Deputy Chief Labour Commissioner Central. All Regional Labour Commissioner Central. All Assistant Labour Commissioner Central. Chief Advisory Labour Welfare Office Central, New Delhi. All Labour Enforcement Officers Central. So here are some powers of inspector. Enter at all reasonable hours with such assistant being persons in the service of the government or any local or other public authority as he thinks fit, any premises or place where building or other construction work is carried on, for the purpose of examining in any register or record or notice required to be kept or exhibited by under this Act, any required the production therefore for inspection. Examine any person whom he find in any such premises or place and who is also reasonable cause to believe is a building worker employed in there. Require any person giving out building or other construction work to any building worker to give any information which is in his power to give with respect to the names and addresses of the persons to, for and whom the building and the other construction work is given out or received, and with respect to the payments to be made for building and other construction work. Seize or take copies of such register, record of wages or notices or portion thereof as he may consider relevant in respect of offence under Act which has reason to believe has been committed by the employer. Here are other applicable statuses. Apart from the legislation entitled Building and Other Construction Workers, Regulation of Employment and Conditions of Services Act 1996, following legislation are also applicable. Mines Act 1952, Quarries Underground Work, Motor Vehicle Act Vehicle, Shops and Establishment Act Offices, Contractor Labour Act Contract Labour, Interstate Migrant Worker Act Immigrant Worker, Indian Explosive Act Explosives, Indian Electricity Act Use of Electricity, Workmen's Compensation Act Compensation, Regulations Against Use of Child Labour, the Petroleum Act 1934 and Rules 1976, the Gas Cylinder Rule 1981, the Static and Mobile Pressure Vessel Unifold Rule 181, Pollution of Radiography, Air and Water Pollution Control Regulation. Since construction industry is rapidly developing, so all the rules and regulations must known to the authorities for systematic completion of the project. Here your fourth chapter is also over. Thank you.